Hey guys, it's MMA Vulture coming at you live with UFC Fight Night, Hernandez versus Pineda recap. And we're going to go ahead and jump into the first bout of the night being Austen Lane versus Robelis Despaigne. And coming out into this fight, man oh man was I surprised. I thought Robelis Despaigne was going to be able to knock out Austen Lane, but little did I know he followed the exact blueprint that Waldo Cortez set out. He used the grappling to his ability, was maintaining control of Robelis Despaigne. In that first round, Austen Lane looked phenomenal getting the takedown over Robelis Despaigne. There's a couple of exchanges where it was like, but mainly it was a grappling of Austen Lane, getting Robelis Despaigne down, maintaining control of him, peppering him with shots from top position, and he looked good in that first round. Then comes second round, and Robelis Despaigne is starting to find that striking, starting to look good on the feet, and starting to pick apart Austen Lane, and doing better in the takedowns in the sense of snubbing a couple of takedowns from Austen Lane here and there, and looking better in that second round. And I thought going into the third round, it was definitely 1-1. So going into the third round, Robelis Despaigne, again, found the way to the bottom of Austen Lane, and Austen Lane found a way to get Robelis Despaigne down after continuously trying to get him down, finally getting him down, maintained control of him, peppering him with shots again, looking like the better fighter. He followed the exact blueprints of Waldo Cortez. I thought he was going to have a lot more trouble getting Robelis Despaigne down, but he got him down the 3 times, as you guys can tell, out of the 8 takedowns, so that continuous pressure was definitely helping him getting those takedowns. But again, Robelis Despaigne has no ground game, was not working his way up, and was failing to quickly get up. And as you guys can tell, Austen Lane got the better of him, used the grappling to his ability, took down Robelis Despaigne, was landing some nice ground and pound, and just took the unanimous decision 29-28 over Robelis Despaigne. And I was really mad at this one. I did not see it coming. I thought Austen Lane didn't have the grappling abilities like Waldo Cortez did. I feel like he was a little bit worse of a grappler, but apparently still any grappling is good against Robelis Despaigne, and he just, again, has a complete hole in his fighting ability, and that's the grappling department, and he needs to work on it if he is going to get anywhere in this division. Austen Lane with the unanimous decision, 29-28. Great plus money if you went that route at plus 325 at the start of it. And let's go ahead and bring it to the next bout, which was an interesting one to say the least. I thought, to be honest, going into the third round, I thought Elise Ardelean was up 2-0 for sure. She looked good on the feet. She was the slicker fighter. She was piecing up Melissa Martinez. Melissa Martinez was having trouble on the feet with Elise Ardelean. Her speed was definitely notable, and she was just beating Melissa Martinez in every sense. But then come third round, Melissa Martinez lands a nasty liver shot that actually kind of drops Ardelean. And Ardelean's like, no, that's a low shot, a low blow. But it wasn't a low blow looking back at the thing. And then they ended up continuing the fight and scoring it unanimous decision to Melissa Martinez. I feel like they took a point maybe from Elise Ardelean in that final round because of the fact that Melissa Martinez was going to end it. Dude, she started teeing off on Elise Ardelean after she got that perfect liver kick. And I feel like that's part of the reason why this went 30-27 Melissa's route, because I feel like she was getting pieced up on the feet for sure first and second round. I feel like second was a little bit closer, but the first round she was definitely getting pieced up. Elise Ardelean looked like the slicker, more technical fighter, and this was a weird one in which Melissa Martinez still got the W, and if you guys picked her, I picked her as well. I feel like it's with reason that she got the 30-27, because I feel like she definitely could have ended it had that kept going on, because she was absolutely teeing off. She had that nasty liver kick and then just was bam, 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 straight to her head. I'm like, damn, she's teeing off on her, because I thought it was a low blow, so I thought she was taking full advantage and just started teeing off on her because she's losing. Nah, it was a perfect liver kick, made Ardelean buckle, and she just started teeing off on her. And I think it was with the reason why they maybe took a point and gave it Melissa Martinez 30-27 in a weird win. And let's move along to the next chick fight in Jessica Penne versus Elise Reed. And coming out in that first round, I was very, very surprised with Jessica Penne. She looked good on the feet. She looked better in the striking department than Elise Reed, which is the better striker, which was really weird in my opinion. Jessica Penne came out. She was actually very fast starter. She came out aggressive, was landing some nice strikes, mixing up to the body very well, mixing up to the legs well, quick, clean combinations, and she looked like the better fighter. She ended up taking down Elise Reed and getting control time, but come the second and third round, Elise Reed was just somebody different and on a mission. That second round, she started finding her striking, started mixing up to the body really, really well, and she looked phenomenal that second and third round. She really found that striking, really started piecing up Jessica Penne, and you could tell Jessica Penne was wearing it. She looked beat. That third round, you could tell Elise Reed was definitely the better striker. I feel like Jessica Penne started to slow down, and Elise Reed was just dominating in the second and third round in the striking department. Quick, clean combinations, nice stiff jab to go along with her combinations, nice leg kicks. She was just picking apart Jessica Penne that second and third round, and she looked crisp and clean in doing so. I really like seeing Elise Reed in that second, third round, absolutely taking over and beating a 41-year-old Jessica Penne. And let's move along to the next bout, in which we had Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamires Vidal. And coming into this, like I said, I really thought Jocelyn Edwards was a really confident pick. But then after the weigh-in, I was like, she's not really that confident anymore for me. I'm still going to pick her. I'm not going to pick flip. I still trust her, and I feel like she's the more technical fighter. And we saw it here. She was easily the more technical fighter, picking apart Tamires Vidal, who was winging shots. Yes, they're heavy, but again, she wasn't able to put herself in positions to really land those and do damage on Jocelyn Edwards. Jocelyn Edwards constantly was pressuring her, constantly throwing volume, was landing on the feet. She landed some good takedowns as well, mixing up her shots and mixing in takedowns with her striking. She looked good on the feet, doing everything that she needed to do against Tamires Vidal. She didn't make it a brawl, didn't do any clinching or dirty inside boxing as much as she usually does. She looked phenomenal in beating Tamires Vidal, who is a wild striker, and Jocelyn Edwards showed that. She showed that she's the more technical fighter here, picked apart Tamires Vidal, ended up finding the choke in the last 20 seconds of the match on Tamires Vidal. She looked great in doing so. She, like I said, she had multiple takedowns, maintained control of Tamires Vidal, was advancing positions on Tamires Vidal, and ended up finding that sub in the last round at the 30 seconds left. It was insane. Jocelyn Edwards looked good in every single round, dominated Tamires Vidal, and just made her bitch, essentially. Because Jocelyn Edwards looked phenomenal out there. And if you guys had Jocelyn Edwards, good shit, because I wasn't as confident after that weigh-in, but I did think that she was going to win. And let's move along to what I thought was one of the better fights of the night in Brad Katona versus Gene Matsumoto. This was a great, great fight in where Brad Katona literally came out hot. He looked great that first round, snubbing a lot of Gene Matsumoto's takedowns, in which we thought he was going to be able to take Brad Katona down easily and maintain control of him. No. Brad Katona has great grappling skills, was snubbing a lot of Gene Matsumoto's takedowns, was actually finding a lot of success in the striking realm in the first round, was looking clean. He landed some nice elbows, actually tagging Gene Matsumoto and stumbling him a little bit. But after that, not much to be said. Gene Matsumoto found a way to win against Brad Katona, finding his striking in that second and third round, mixing his leg kicks up. I feel like that's really what was the key. He started mixing in his leg kicks with his striking, and started becoming a little bit less readable, a little bit less predictable, and also started mixing in some takedowns, started getting some takedowns on Brad Katona, started maintaining a little bit of control of him, and ultimately just found success in the second and third round. Third round was definitely a little bit closer for sure, but I think Gene Matsumoto looked clean in the striking, landed more damage, and walked away with the 29-28 over Brad Katona. And I feel like this was a great fight between these two. These two were absolutely brawling, putting on an insane volume, and they look good in doing so. Not much grappling, like I said, on either side. I don't think either of them landed a takedown. I do remember Matsumoto getting a takedown and Brad Katona, but a lot of them were snubbed. I do remember that, and it was a great fight between these two, in which I did think that Brad Katona was definitely going to put up a great fight, because like I said, this was one of Gene Matsumoto's hardest tests to date, and it showed. It really did. He put up a great fight against Gene Matsumoto. Brad Katona is nobody to sleep on, but again, Matsumoto's up next. The younger prospect does it and keeps that 16-0 record, that O alive, and I think he's somebody to definitely watch in the future. And let's move along to the next bout, in which we had Almabayev versus Matheus Nicolau. And this was a great fight, to be honest. It was a lot of chain wrestling on the Almabayev side. He was struggling, though, to get Matheus Nicolau down, which was surprising to me. Matheus Nicolau is a tricky guy and scrambles really well on the ground. He was having a little bit of success as well in the second round. Matheus Nicolau started finding his striking, started looking good. Going into that third round, I definitely thought it was a 1-1 battle, and I thought Almabayev was going to show off a little bit more striking, in which he did get a knockdown in that third round. He looked clean in doing so, getting that knockdown on Matheus Nicolau. I really was hoping for him to use his striking a little bit more than what he did, but he did really good in mixing up his shots, was mixing it up to the head and to the body well, was trying to chain wrestle. Again, it was a lot of scrambling from Matheus Nicolau. It was a lot of grappling in this, but Almabayev, with those body kicks in the first round, that's really what gave him the round. And Matheus Nicolau had 2 strikes. I think Almabayev had like 5 or 6, so that really wasn't that much in that first round. Then Matheus Nicolau came out the second round. His striking looked good. Almabayev came out the third round, knocked down Matheus Nicolau, and looked good in the striking department, and got the unanimous decision 29-28 over Matheus Nicolau. I thought Almabayev was definitely going to use a little bit more of the striking, but he gets it done either way, finds a way to get it done, and beats Matheus Nicolau. And let's move along to the next bout, in which we had Darren the Damage Elkins, man. This was a great fucking fight. Fight of the night for sure. This was a phenomenal fight. I'm like, oh, Brad Katona, that's fight of the night. I called it. I'm like, damn, that's definitely going to be fight of the night. This fight comes on, absolute fucking brawl between these two. Darren Elkins comes out, looks phenomenal in the first, landing some nice strikes. And Daniel Pineda is eating these strikes, man. He is wearing it on the face. Daniel Pineda looked good in the second round, taking down Darren Elkins. But ultimately, Darren Elkins looked way better. He ended up taking Daniel Pineda down and maintaining control of him for a long time, almost damn near half the round. And he looked good in doing so. He was landing some nice inside elbows, some nice strikes from the outside, maintaining distance, was throwing some nice body shots to mix it up a little bit against Daniel Pineda. And Daniel Pineda had multiple submission attempts. Man, so many times I'm like, damn, he's got the guillotine. He's got the guillotine on Elkins. I'm like, oh my God, it's over. I'm like, stop taking it to the ground, Elkins. Just fucking strike with him. You obviously have the striking advantage. But no, every single time Elkins went to the ground, he was comfortable in doing so. He did not get submitted. Damn near did get submitted a couple of times. I was very scared, but pulled through, outdogged Daniel Pineda, was beating him on the feet, looked crisp in the striking department, and was beating the crap out of Daniel Pineda. And this was an absolute war on the feet between these two. Daniel Pineda was leaking bad. Darren Elkins was leaking a little bit. These two were absolutely slanging and banging this fight. This for sure was fight of the night, and I'm glad Darren, the Damage Elkins, got the W, in which Daniel Pineda ended up actually retiring. He said, fuck this, I'm done. Ended up retiring, and Darren Elkins, the Damage, with the unanimous decision, 29-28. And let's move right along to the next bout, in which Jake Hadley got exposed, man. I thought Jake Hadley was going to beat High Stand, and I stuck with him against Smotherman because I thought he had an even better chance. Boy, was I wrong. If Smotherman did this to him, what the hell would High Stand do to him? Jake Hadley looked horrible. He was getting outstruck, picked apart. He didn't even try to use his grappling ability, which really surprised me. I don't know what his game plan was in this, but he did not try and grapple until the second round, in which there was 1 minute left. And he got a takedown. And other than that, he didn't even try at all. In the third round, he tried one other time, but other than that, he stopped trying at all. Did not really use the grappling to his best abilities, and Smotherman looked a lot quicker on the feet. His combinations looked a lot smoother and cleaner. He looked like the better boxer, the better technical fighter in the striking department, and he got the better of Jake Hadley. He really did. He picked him apart, beat the crap out of him. A couple times Hadley actually did rock Smotherman, but other than that, it was all Smotherman every single round. And also Hadley had an eye poke, then a nut shot, and ended up getting a point taken in the second round. It was just really weird fight in which Smotherman beat the crap out of him. Hadley didn't know, I don't even know what his game plan was, didn't use his grappling at all, got beat up, and Smotherman took the W, in which he was a plus 400. There was multiple plus monies on this card, insane plus monies, and Smotherman walks away with the unanimous decision over Jake Hadley in dominant fashion with clean, crisp combinations, man. He was striking to the body and to the head so cleanly, man. And we're going to move to my lock of the night, Charles Johnson versus Sumudaerji, in which Charles Johnson looked phenomenal in the first and second round. He really did. Charles Johnson came out. He was slick in the striking, piecing up Sumudaerji, mixing in some takedowns, maintaining control of Sumudaerji, and he looked phenomenal. Sumudaerji was starting to find a little bit of his striking later on, but again, Charles Johnson just was too slick. His footwork was phenomenal, mixing in those kicks, those body shots, and ended up beating Sumudaerji via unanimous decision, 29-28, in which he looked great. In the first and second round, I believe that those were definitely Charles Johnson round. I think Sumudaerji had the last round. I loved seeing Charles Johnson absolutely dominate. His striking looked clean, crisp. He was mixing up his shots well, mixing in his takedowns with his striking, which I really enjoyed seeing, which is one of the key things I felt like he needed to do to win this. And he maintained control of Sumudaerji when he got him down to the ground, which was another very high key point. And he looked great in beating Sumudaerji. Like I said, I feel like Sumudaerji had a puncher's chance, but he did look good in the grappling department, man. His long legs definitely helped him, helped create space in the grappling area. But Charles Johnson, relentless pressure, constantly with the forward pressure, constantly throwing volume on Sumudaerji, ends up beating him and looking better in a 29-28 unanimous decision. And let's move along to the co-main event, in which was a crazy, crazy fight, man. Crazy fight. In the first round, Kyler Phillips comes out. He looks good. He looks good in the striking department, mixing in some takedowns, getting Rob Font down, maintaining control of Rob Font that first round. And I'm like, damn, okay. We're looking good on the Kyler Phillips side because he's maintaining control, landing some peppering shots. Then comes second round, Rob Font starting to find his striking. I feel like Kyler Phillips was low-key starting to slow down. You could kind of see it. He was kind of his gas tank was kind of on the fence. And Rob Font started finding his striking, started using those uppercuts, started mixing in those body shots, and started just putting on a pace that Kyler Phillips was just not able to keep up with. Rob Font was looking phenomenal in the striking department. And Kyler Phillips was just starting to look gassed out slowly and slowly as the round goes on in the second and third round. Then the third round comes out, and same thing. Rob Font looks crisp and clean in the striking department. Rob Font is the better striker. Kyler Phillips was not able to really get Rob Font down. Rob Font was doing better in the grappling department in the sense of getting up a lot quicker, exploding to his feet a lot quicker than the first round where he got controlled and maintained the entire round. No, the second and third round, he snipped it in the bud, found out how to stop Kyler Phillips' takedowns. I feel like it also had to do with Kyler Phillips' gas tank being a little bit gassed. And Rob Font delivered on the feet, outstruck, picked apart Kyler Phillips, and won via unanimous decision 29-28 and looked good in doing so. Another plus 425, as you guys can see. Another plus money in this fight. There was so many plus monies on this card that were insane that I did not see coming, in which Rob Font is a beast, man. Like I said, he's no slouch, bro. He's not a bum. He's not somebody to sleep on. And he got the unanimous decision over Kyler Phillips. And let's look at the main event, man, in which, oh my god, if you guys haven't, don't forget to like and subscribe. And this whole week, I thought Michel Pereira was easy plus money. And boy, oh, was I fucking wrong, man. I was absolutely fucking wrong on this call. I got this thing slang and dang in my fucking face. What the fuck was this, man? I thought easy plus fucking 115, he might even knock out Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. No. Not even fucking close. As you guys can see, he landed 29 fucking strikes out of the entire 5 rounds and was just getting absolutely worked, picked apart, out-grappled, maintained on the ground. Nasty ground and pound from Anthony Hernandez. Nasty elbows, nasty left and right hooks. I mean, what is there to say? Anthony Hernandez absolutely exposed Michel Pereira. I mean, he did. He absolutely exposed him, beat the living shit out of him, controlled him for damn near the whole entire fucking fight, and he made Michel Pereira his bitch, man. And I really did not see this coming. I thought Anthony Fluffy Hernandez was going to get a rude awakening, and I'm the one that got the rude awakening. I lost. A lot of my parlays didn't hit because of this. I didn't have the best record this week. A lot of plus monies hit. Then the Anthony Hernandez I got absolutely obliterated in. And if you guys had Anthony Hernandez, good shit. He's an absolute dog. I feel like this is the exact same thing with the Benoit Saint Denis, man. Anthony Hernandez just has a different level of grappling abilities and just maintains control of you, does not let you up, makes you uncomfortable, beats the shit out of you from top position, lands some nasty ground and pound, and ultimately got the technical knockout over Michel Pereira with some nasty ground and pound elbows, in which I was very surprised. And if you guys had Anthony Hernandez, good shit. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.